Woo! So it is here. This is the spoiler review of Wandavision episode 8. So spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. If you have not seen the episode yet, turn this off now and watch my spoiler-free review. But this is the spoiler version of my review for Wandavision episode 8. Enjoy. Woo! Wandavision episode 8. Let's get started. So the show opens up with a purple Marvel logo. I'm guessing that represents Agatha's magic energy signature. The show starts with Agatha's backstory. It's like Agatha Begins, like Batman Begins or something like that. I love this because it's opening up this mystic world. We're going to get Doctor Doom at some point, so it's kind of cool to see this more mystical element of powers and magic, not elder magic like Doctor Strange. The script flipped. I thought it was a Salem witch trial, like people holding her accountable for being a witch, like evil men or something like that. But it was a trial of a witch by witches. So she had done some bad things as a witch, because apparently they have rules. I love how you see how deceptive Agatha is and how she's like lying to who you find out is her mother, which is really crazy, because you see she's very deceptive in Wanda's Hex universe. When her mother uses the powers on her, I thought it was cool when she did that Kamehameha, and then like you saw her witch crown. So like the whole idea of the witches having like their crowns and it being almost magical or a spiritual form of a crown. It's really dope. Woo! Yo, so homegirl Agatha is swole. She ate all those energy beams from the witches. The Kamehameha was ridiculous. She ate that. We start with Agatha being inside her dungeon where she's keeping Billy and Tommy, and she's curious about Wanda. She wants to know how she is doing all of this. So we do find out Wanda is solely responsible for the Hex. It may be an issue of just like ignorant talent. She's not really sure how she's doing it. Agatha is changing the context of Marvel, and she's building the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Marvel comic pieces, because she's bringing in the idea of hex magic and chaos magic and explaining to Wanda things we know as comic book fans, but it's for people that don't know, it's showing you what's really going on. And that's maybe because now they have the rights to these characters and capabilities. Agatha does reference fake Pietro or Peter from the Fox movies. So we're getting the fact that he is Pietro, and Agatha says, it's her eyes and ears. So Peter or Pietro was basically a spy. That was a way for Agatha to gain insight to Wanda's mind by giving her someone she trusted. And she starts to talk about necromancy, which is a type of magic dealing with bringing people back from the dead or death. So this is a supernatural kind of magic we're getting exposed to. And she talks about transmutation, and she's changing one thing into something else. And the necromancy and transmutation is what Agatha uses to bring back Pietro. But because his body's too far, she created a new face in a new context. That face just so happens to be a character that we love from a different film universe. Ooh. So I do love the consistency with the use of sitcoms and TV as how the show is sort of telling its story and its context. I love when Agatha says memento moria, and then she shows Wanda's backstory and calls it a rerun. Memento mori, I'm not the biggest person when it comes to like knowing how to speak Latin. I don't really speak Latin, but I know that memento is like memory. It's kind of cool hearing her little incantations of magic. The Dick Van Dyke part of her past or memory and context really connected with me, because like I grew up watching reruns on Nick at Night, and that show is awesome, and Dick Van Dyke was amazingly talented, and it's a very nostalgic moment, and the moment that she's sharing with her family around watching Dick Van Dyke is beautiful. You should check out the show. I know it's old, but it's a really awesome show, really entertaining. It's when TV was fresh and TV was new, and it just started, but there is a soul to it, which is really awesome and just sort of wholesome. It's great. Sitcoms were an escape for Wanda. So we start to see why sitcoms are so important. It's how her family learned how to speak English. It's how they connected. It's how they bonded and spent time. And they all knew about these TV shows. She shared it with her brother, her mother, her father, Oleg. It was really cool to see that. Sokovia is really effed up. Sokovia is messed up. It is like war-torn Eastern Europe status. So outside is hell, inside is a safe place with these sitcoms and the stories she created. I love when they're explaining shenanigans. It's cool how these very American things that maybe not even Americans know if they're too young, this girl is learning through television. She's talking to them about, like, shenanigans and like things like, trouble you get into but you can get out of. It was hilarious.